is it when you're getting, you know, when you're sitting in a chair, the Bob will ask you a question, and just as you go to answer, he slaps a hot towel on your kisser.
Groucho Marx kept audiences laughing on You Bet Your Life. Laughs were inevitable whenever Marx cracked jokes with his bushy eyebrows and trademark cigar wagging. But as Groucho Marx grew older, there were fewer laughs. Through an extraordinary set of circumstances, Steve Stoliar became Groucho Marx's personal secretary during his final years.
Dan Stoliar has written a book about those years. It's called Raised Eyebrows, My Years Inside Groucho's House. Stoliar joins us now for a look at life with Groucho Marx. What was it like being with him the final days that he was alive?
Well, it was an extraordinary best of times, worst of times thing. I mean, on the one hand, it was literally this dream come true for me, because I used to dream about meeting Groucho, and there I was working in his house and getting to meet Groucho and Zeppo and George Burns and Mae West and Bob Hope and Jack Lemmon, this extraordinary pantheon of people. The downside was being close to my hero as he's fading out, and also putting up with Erin Fleming, who was the controversial and volatile woman who was in charge of Groucho's life during that time. So it was a real roller coaster ride, and I tried to put that into Raised Eyebrows.
You said that Elvis died 3 days before Groucho died in August of 1977, and that was horrible timing for a man who had had wonderful timing all his life, because it was overshadowed.
It's true. Groucho was slowly fading out, and I began to wonder how much time they'd be spending on the news, preempting shows and things like that. And then Elvis left the building, shall we say, 3 days before Groucho died, and it almost became a postscript when my hero died, because everyone was still covering the Presley story.
Now, you interviewed Groucho Marx for a class project in 1974.
Right.
Now, this little tidbit we're about to show you gives us a look at Marx's wry sense of humor. Take a look.
Who do you like in comedy today, aside from me? Well, aside from yourself, is there anyone else in the field of comedy you enjoy watching?
Dick Cavett. Woody Allen.
Did you see Sleeper?
Yeah.
What other television shows do you enjoy watching?
Mine.
How about motion pictures?
Motion pictures, yeah, that good.
Did he look at his work? Did he watch the
He loved watching his work. I used to think that I was the world's biggest Groucho fan until I met Groucho and realized that he was #1. And he would never miss the reruns of You Bet Your Life that were on every night at 11 o'clock. Even if he were in the middle of his own birthday party, he would look at his watch and say, geez, I'm missing my show. I got to go on. He'd shuffle off down the hall and watch it.
All right, I want to take some calls. Roy from Long Beach, your question.
Yeah, I was wondering, did the Marx Brothers write all their own material, and what would you say would be the closest Groucho Marx imitator in this day and age?
The Marx Brothers did not write their own material, which is, I think, a testament to how good they were as performers, because people thought Groucho just stood there and made it up as he looked into the camera. In truth, they had some high-class wordsmiths, such as George S. Kaufman and S.J. Perelman, writing material for them. It's all based on what Groucho could do in real life. I mean, he was extremely witty, and there's a lot of previously unpublished Grouchoisms in Raised Eyebrows. And what was the other part of the question?
Who does a good Groucho?
I guess the Vlasic Pickle fellow.
He's got the voice down.
That's
I haven't
right.
seen what he looks like, but you're right. He's very good. Let's take another phone call. Beatrice in Los Angeles, you have a question for Steve?
Yeah, I have a question regarding, there was an award show many years ago with Lucille Ball and Groucho that were giving an award, and she was obviously rude to him. Was that something planned, or was it made to be funny? What happened there?
It wasn't planned, and I actually write about that incident in the book. Lucy was inebriated and pushed Groucho out of the way, and Groucho was fairly upset about that, and actually got a lot of supportive fan mail saying, I thought the way Lucy treated you was shameless, and you're a legend, and I'll always love you, and things like that.
Let's see if we can squeeze in one quick question. Janelle Gardina, quick if you could. Janelle? All right, well,
That was quick.
you say one thing here in your book as well that maybe we can wrap up with. You heard the last Grouchoism. Can you very briefly tell us what it is?
Well, Groucho was in and out of lucidity towards the end. I mean, he was quite weak and fading out and just giving yes and no answers. And then a nurse came to wake him up, and he looked at her and said, what do you want? She said, I want to see if you have a temperature. And he said, don't be silly, everyone has a temperature. And he went back to sleep. So his wit was still there till the absolute very end.
All right.
It's a good
And we
way
can
to
read about it in Raised Eyebrows. Steve Stoliar, thanks for being with us.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Very good.
We'll be right back.